There's gonna be darkness. Yep. It's innocence being burned away. What? We're continuing our Genshin Impact series with Arlecchino Lullaby character demo. If you enjoy our time, watch more. Genshin lore masters, join me in battle. I'm so excited for Arlecchino. I love her backstory so far.
Legend has it that long ago, the long nights were the den of dangers untold.
Feels like a storybook, which I love because of her background, right? With children.
The children would huddle at home and light the hearth, awaiting the adults' return.
That was a amazing image, and I think it's showing the implications of her curse, right? Burning through. And there's a focus on her hands. Sort of solemn. We're in a very wide aspect ratio here. Whoa. There's a darkness that can't be contained by her. Whoa. Wow, and the aspect ratio has changed again. It's widened out to increase the field of view. Cold and brutal style of fighting right now. Wow. Striking colors of the purple and the red. Beautiful choreography. It's disorienting. She's grasped him in her hand. Did you see that? It's the curse, I'm telling you. And there's that childlike kind of music box sound here. It's reminiscent of the song of the kids singing in her backstory. They're walking in a different direction. It's like their fates. It's the fate that she could have had. And she's walking in a different direction from them. She's walking away from that life, the life that she never had as a happy childhood. It's tragic, isn't it? Disturbing. It sounds like the kids singing, and I said before, the children sing through her now. And there it is. Oh my god, it's so tragic. There's gonna be darkness. Yep. Burned away. Innocence. It's innocence being burned away. What? Oh, it's insane. Is that the curse? Like, I'm telling you, it's this imagery of it's not being contained by her. It's gonna break out. The music is unbelievable. It's motivating, the choreography musically. And the child choir, I'm telling you, it's innocence being destroyed. The hand, there's the hand again. See?
I hear that the children love to play by the fireplace.
Oh my god.
So let us continue to
Amazing.
use the name House of the Hearth.
There's so much to talk about here. See, she's away.
The flame is no longer needed.
And look at the lighting.
For you have the strength to defend yourselves.
Innocence being burned away. Did you see that? It went away. The warmth of the hearth, the welcoming feeling of a loving parent and stuff, and childhood being burned away. There's so much to talk about here. It's like every frame is chock full of stuff. I didn't want to pause too much because it's so good. So let's go into it. Like I said, if you enjoy our time, hop in our Discord. You know, make sure to subscribe, and let's do this. If you want to choose a video for me to react to, click the join button. Okay. This is insane. This is absolutely insane. So much amazing imagery being chucked in. It did not disappoint me at all. It's exactly what I wanted from her. As I said before, I want to see this exploration. I think there's going to be some character stuff coming up in her story. It's what I want to see. This idea of, you know, her emotions coming out, seeping out. And I want to see some darkness, some anger and everything. So I think it's going to happen from what we're seeing. I love this kind of music box feeling. It starts as piano. Here it becomes music box later.
The children would huddle at home and light the hearth.
Now, for the lore masters, does anyone know what this is? This is like a letter dropped by a carrier pigeon or something. I love this imagery, burning a hole through it with this eye. You know, this cursed eye, this power that we still don't fully understand. Wow, what an image! And just discards it. I love this imagery. It's a recurring imagery that we've seen in times at Fontaine and Genshin as well, where you have this, you know, the stage with the spotlight on it, on the character. And I love this continuous focus on the hands. There's a couple images. I mean, it's literally like one frame. That's why we really got to break this one down, where you'll see her hand reach out and just close and grasp someone and crush them. It's terrifying. Yeah. It's actually terrifying. Yeah, and then this is kind of representative of what I was saying. So she kind of closes her eyes, and this is what's really going on inside of her, right? She's sitting on this nice, relaxed, very cozy stage, and then it's just this encroaching darkness, all this power that's contained within her. The curse is spread down her hand. Did it stop? What's next for the curse, right? So this is kind of the questions that it makes me ask. I love this character. It's super interesting.
A spark cannot shatter all shadows.
And there it is. You see this reaching out, grabbing. Is it her? Is it her enemies? Until it sets all ablaze. Very, very foreboding words. And I want to see there's some imagery in here of children. Who the heck is that? Is this her final form? I think that is her final form with like a mask. You can see the children there. Really, really dark imagery. Like I said, I think it's the idea. I think they're trying to say innocence burned away, innocence lost. What an amazing segment, I just gotta say. Right? Look at this. There's so much going on. I could literally go frame by frame. Look at this. If we go frame by frame, you're gonna see some really interesting stuff. I think I missed it actually. I want to see, yeah, she stands up from the throne. There's a shattering. And look at this sort of mask that they're using, editing mask. You have the hands reaching out. These are the many hands of the children, though, reaching up in supplication, maybe, until it sets all ablaze. The throne is gone. There's this mask happening. Look at this one frame. Again, telling me there's something going on with her character that's maybe it can't be contained by her. Maybe her identity is sort of a mystery. Look at that. Fascinating, right? Very, very cool stuff. And then what was this? Was this her as a child, perhaps? Was this her friend we saw in the animated short? And then we have the shattering of a flower from the animated short. I thought it was a goblet or a glass. It's a glass flower. I'm gonna prune this one. I remember her old mother said. Very disturbing stuff. And I think that's really cool. We have the smoke rising out. Look at these graphics. I mean, graphically, that looks like nothing we've seen in Genshin. I mean, what a weird image this is, too. The children tending the fire, they said, while the adults are out at the hearth. Just really weird, sort of distorted stuff. Amazing. We actually have it happen a couple times. The aspect ratio actually crunches down in the beginning, opens up here, comes back down. Some really interesting stuff going down here, kind of playing with the idea of limiting vision and also giving this feeling of focusing in. It's cool stuff. You can play around with it. And what a drop of the music here. I love it. Just goes right past her opponent. Opponent annihilated. Dire by the moon. Arlecchino. What an image, man. This is by far the most like abstract character demo, I would say. It's quite high level in the filmmaking, but it does even the choreography in a way that you feel almost like you're the enemy, just disoriented and confused by what's happening here. Really cool. And you feel like almost in like a fever dream. Look at this. The enemy's still facing the other way. She's gone behind her and is just destroying her. And they'll notice they actually cut the color a lot, and they'll desaturate and kind of suck the life out of the image. Again, I feel it's really her humanity and playing into that, and the ideas of kind of losing something of herself. And her whole personality is very, very, very even keeled. And that's what I keep saying. I want to see her eventually react to a lot of stuff that she's gone through, and maybe we'll see it in the story. Really nice wide angle there. I mean, this is happening at like max speed, but we've gone to a really low wide angle shot here, probably like a 20 millimeter or something. You get a little bit of distortion here on the legs and the scythe. Then we have this great shot where let's go frame by frame. I want to show you guys how fast this is happening. Look as the camera pulls back a little bit and then angles up, and we have this just glorious image. Look at this beautiful arc. Very color-filled image with the reds, the purples, and the yellows. Just amazing. Popping against that dark sky. Glorious composition. I love it. That was a really cool shot, too. I mean, we're talking, fractions of a second all these shots are. And look at this, just striking circle. So cool, man. And she looks like she's going to play like a monster. And what is this wing, too? This, again, seems to relate to her curse. And there it is, sitting on the throne, all these images. I like that one. That one really stood out to me. Whew, terrifying. Terrifying. But this again tells me that the sort of curse, this X, this red power, when it pops out, it's all powerful, literally destroyed her old mother. It implies that it's like a separate entity, or it's something that's larger than her. So I wonder what that's going to mean for the lore and stuff. I'm so curious. There it was again, the X kind of going beyond her eyelids. Really creepy stuff. And here comes this idea of like, she's so powerful. You see that? Just, oh, terrifying. And it's just a barrage of images denoting how fast this is all happening. Look at this. And it's interesting because they didn't choose to show a lot of this in motion. A lot of it is almost like freeze frames. Look at that. It's kind of cool. It gives the effect that it's happening so fast. See? We're kind of just cutting back and forth in different freeze frames even. Super cool idea. And then there it is. Look at this shot. Just a nice. She keeps getting behind the enemy. Turns the enemy to dust, by the way. Just completely annihilates into the camera, just as if the camera was like pushed back by her attack. So cool, man. It was just like yanked away almost by a hand, right? It's amazing. And there it is. The aspect ratio is crunched down again, well, to give us a wider aspect ratio, rather. It's a really cool way of playing with image. I love this part. Yeah, it's the idea I'm telling you of like walking away from a fate she could have had. Again, the desaturated children, the black and white, voicing that this is not her fate. This is not her path. It's also, like I said before, they're doing the same imagery, not showing her face. Right? Do you remember in the other video we covered for Arlecchino? They're holding back her emotions. They're not showing us her face, and she as a person tends to also withhold how she feels. So they're keeping with that thematically. And there it is. Like I said, the kid's singing through her. She just kind of emotionlessly looks on. And then the darkness comes, and hate to say it, but this is them being destroyed. Crazy stuff, right? And she said, this is really good too, this part. Look at this. This shot stood out to me too. If we go frame by frame here, you can see before we switch to probably like a 30 millimeter. Really, really nice image. Yeah, I like the composition here is really strong. Look at this. This sort of like eclipse imagery encircling the image. It makes a really nice frame for the subject. And you have this just nice asymmetry. The wing. Crazy, crazy striking wing going out beyond the frame again. Can't be contained beyond the frame. And then we have her here. There's actually an X on the ground, which is the mark of her pupil. There's just so much going on here. I want you guys to see how short this lasts for. Look. And then the X. It's this constant imagery, right? And I feel like it has to be leading to something very, very interesting in the story. And then this just becomes absolute insanity. It's so fast. It's so quick. It's so overwhelming almost. Amazing. I really like that shot too. Yeah, I like how we do these kind of like cutaways. Again, masking the face. Yeah, these stood out to me. I really like those. Very nice work. Great silhouette there too. Did you see it? It's crazy how much I have to pause because every half second is completely different. Less than a half a second. Look at that. There's that X again, man. What does it mean? There, that's awesome. Yeah, this is just like an editing masterpiece at this point. Like the editors were going hard, man. And there's that eclipse again. Look at that. For just a moment. Look at that. This huge ball of energy. So cool, man. What an image. And they're doing a lot of stuff that Genshin doesn't typically do. You can tell this is a huge budget for this one because look, we have this like kind of environmental disintegration and like crumbling of the entire earth and these effects, the enemies turning to dust and stuff. It's not something that happens in Genshin videos, right? So this is amazing amount of work went into this, and I think a lot of like visual effects outside of the engine completely, unless they've done some stuff I don't even know about in the game, like the smoke and dust graphics were insane here. It's like a kaleidoscope. It's just so interesting. The idea of looking in or looking out, I should say beyond. Look at that. There's the kaleidoscope imagery in the background as she brings the scythe in. We punch in with the camera, and it comes circling around, obscuring her face like a mask, man. I'm telling you. They love this imagery. Look at that. How cool is that? Just like a mask. You can see her eye through the hole. Never could have caught this unless we pause play through. That's why I love taking these like 2-minute ones that are just jam-packed with imagery and picking them apart. So cool. It's fun. It's fun to have these revelations with you guys together. I think it is anyway. Wow. Yeah, man. It's just so cool. That to me represents the curse, right? Huge hand. It's bigger than she can contain. I'm telling you. I don't even know if she understands it.
The children love to play by the fireplace.
Now
So
here
let us
again,
continue to use the name House of the Heart.
what I want you guys to note is that she is outside.
It's no longer
Right, she's not sort of in the circle of that couches and the fireplace and stuff. She's outside the warmth. She's alone here, and she does have the fireplace lighting the half of her face, which is super cool. And to me, this represents the warmth, the innocence of childhood.
For you have the strength to defend yourself.
And this line is cool because I think she's, assuming her new role as father, she is, able to give them the strength that she didn't have as a kid. Defend yourselves from abuse, from other stuff that she's been through, different enemies, and not have to be worrying about your mother attacking you. Really, really cool stuff. I thought it was fantastic. Yeah, very, very well done. And wow, the imagery was absolutely insane. I like how we're getting sort of more with Arlecchino. I hope it's a trend they follow more with Genshin. I love seeing the backstory, animated short, teaser, and now the demo. It's like, okay, I'm really getting a feel for the character, and I feel like there's a sort of there's a real story being built here, just with these images that aren't even in the game, as far as I know. And I think it's so interesting. As I've talked about before, this kind of like this type of storytelling they do, which you kind of got to go to YouTube to, absorb a lot of the story for Genshin. But then again, in the game, it covers everything anyway, just in a very different format. So it's quite interesting. It's kind of like extracurricular or whatever you want to say. But I think it's fantastic. Very, very impressed with this, and it did not disappoint. What do you guys think? Let me know. Like I said, if you enjoy our time, hop in our Discord, subscribe. I'm going to be streaming soon if you want to chat about game, cinematics, and chill. So talk to you soon, guys.